All right, more about today's service for those of you who are visitors or not. Today we are calling it Soapbox Sunday. What that means is this proverbial soapbox right here. People are going to be able to get up this morning and spend 3 minutes ranting and raving on the soapbox about something that they think that we all ought to hear. We've done this before and it's fascinating. So I'm glad you're here today and you got in for this, but don't think if you're a visitor that this is our regular service. It is not. This is way out of the ordinary. We're going to light the chalice at this time. The chalice lighter is Sherry Buchanan, who's just back from a round the world trip. We're glad to have her back. The chalice lighting words are from a native Alaskan song. There is only one great thing, the great day that dawns and the light that fills the world. Please join us in singing Rise Up, Old Flame as soon as it comes up. I gave Adam a heads up, but I do things differently. So he's doing really good back there. Okay, here we go. Rise up, old flame. Show division and joy. Rise up, old flame. My light glowing, come to us, beauty, vision, and joy. Yeah, we could go ahead and do joys and concerns now. That's a good idea. As long as she's up here anyway, she's going to be lighting the candles. For those of you who are visitors, again, every Sunday, we take time out to share joys and concerns of ourselves. If you have a joy or a concern, there was a slip of paper like this at the greeters table out there you can fill out. If you are online, Millie's going to come up here in a minute and hand me an iPad that has all of those on it. So this is just kind of a time that we can all sort of be together. I only have one joy up here. Actually, there's something I'm supposed to say to open this. As a community, we share joys and concerns to keep connected. Slips of paper are available at the greeters table for those in the sanctuary to use for joys and concerns. During the week, you may send your joys and concerns by email to pastoralcare@springfielduu.org. And if you didn't get that, ask me later. It's written right here. By leaving a voicemail on the church phone, which is 417-883-3922. If you're on Zoom, please use a chat box now for sharing your joys and concerns. And all of these joys and concerns will be included in the members' email on Tuesday. We're going to honor each joy and concern with a lighted candle, a symbol of the love we as a community offer for each of these joys and concerns. And this morning, Sherry will be lighting the candles. The first one I have, the only one I have, doesn't say who it's. Oh, your name, Morgan Paul Lewis. Is Morgan Paul Lewis here? Oh, there you are. Hi. We haven't met before. I'm sorry. I should probably point out, I used to be the music director here, and I stood up here every Sunday and I looked at all the faces and I knew everybody. We've had a wonderful turnover in here, and we have new people all the time. It's just wonderful. And I don't know everybody anymore, so I'm sorry. I completed my dialogical spiritual testament, quote, the new Yasna of Ahura Mazda, unquote. I hope I'm saying that right. And I submitted it to the United States Copyright Office. I am currently sending query letters to the top literary agents in the field. Good for you. And that is a joy. That's the only joy I have or concern I have up here. Is there anything on nothing on chat? So that's it for joys and concerns for today. I already went through all that. Oh, here we are, conclusion. You can tell I don't do this very often. We honor the complex and heartbreaking struggles of our world, and we light a candle for those who are impacted. One candle doesn't seem enough these days, but in closing, for those joys and concerns that remain unspoken, we light a candle. May we hold each of these joys and concerns in our hearts and minds. May our community of love ease sorrow and boost celebration. And now we'd like to join together in one moment of shared silence, reflection, whatever you need to do silently, zone into yourself, and we'll just all be quiet for a minute. Let's all join in singing Spirit of Life. The words are on the screen. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots wholly closed, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. This week in UU history, the week of July 13th in UU history, in Birmingham, England, on July 14th in the year 1791, seems like just yesterday, mobs burned the home church, library, and laboratory of Joseph Priestley. Priestley had won afoul of the Church of England because of his Unitarianism and his support of the French Revolution. After this destruction, Priestley moved to Pennsylvania, where he resumed a life of science and theology. He established Unitarian churches in Philadelphia and Germantown that still exist. Excuse me. His Pennsylvania home and laboratory have been preserved and are open to the public. At this time, we're going to take our offering, or as we like to call it, keeping the lights on. Please give what you can to continue our ministry as it is. And Colleen is going to play, I wrote it down here, A Park Scene by Larry Minsky. Okay, the time we've been waiting for. We're going to start right into it. We have, I think, 11 speakers. 2 people aren't here today because they're sick, but we have 2 people got added, so that worked well. We're going to start with Sabrina Bonnet. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Sabrina, are you here? 3 people aren't here today. All right, that takes us down to Becky Mark. Oh. Guess what? You're first. You are. Have at it.
You got the timer or?
Yeah.
To say when? A shocking announcement. I love to talk. But seriously, folks, what I love is public speaking, and I have for many years, and I have a great daydream to share. I hope someday to be giving a commencement address to a group of wide-eyed graduates of an underwater basket weaving school. By the way, I'm Becca Reynolds. This is my address. As you go out into the world, I urge you to follow these 3 simple guidelines: preserve life, seek after truth, and foster love. Simple, right? It is. Preserve life. Life is fragile. Take it from an ER nurse and a cancer survivor. Don't do stupid crap. Wear your seatbelt. Don't drink and drive. Ooh, don't get into a car with anyone impaired. Don't smoke or use drugs. See your doctor yearly. Get that mammogram or colonoscopy. Wear a life vest. Read the emergency instructions on a plane. Don't walk down dark alleys with a $100 bill taped to your chest. Never hunt with anyone named Eugene, Bubba, or Cletus. Conduct all relationships with kindness, care, and respect. Seek after truth. Truth with a big T is fun, but little t's will get you through your day. Machines need oil to prevent friction. Among people, courtesy, compassion, and kindness is that oil. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. Respect costs little until no one gives it back. You will never make an enemy telling a mother her baby is beautiful. Grandma and Aunt Pootie were wrong. Do not put butter on a burn. Do not blow tobacco smoke into the ears of kids with ear infections. But they were right about chicken soup. Rest, nutrition, hydration, and nurturing are often the best medicine. The earth is round, and we went to the moon. And before you shake hands before that tense meeting, rub your hands vigorously together. That first crucial handshake will not be clammy. Foster love. Love makes the world go round and is the axis on which it turns. Spend time every day trying to understand love. You will never succeed, but it is time well spent. Where did I go? Remember, hate is not the opposite of love. Indifference is. Treasure love when it comes, nurture it, encourage it, grieve it when it goes, because it always does. All love stories are also ghost stories. The story of humankind is the ultimate love story. So go forth, graduates, into the world. And if you toss your mortar boards over your head into the sky, be careful so they don't hit you on the head when they fall down. Congratulations, graduates of the 2025 Springfield, Missouri Underwater Basket Weaving Program. And UU Church, I thank you for 3 minutes at the podium. Look at that, to the second.
All right, thank you. Next, we have Amelia Lai. Is Amelia here?
Becky is here, but she's on Zoom, so we're gonna cover up.
Okay, all right. Becky Mark is here, so she's going to go ahead and do hers up there. Watch and listen carefully.
Well, hello, everyone. I had not expected to actually make this presentation, and I don't have the timer with me, so feel free to call time on me when you must. I want to say first that I do not disparage any medicine or pharmaceuticals that are keeping us alive, healthy, happy, or generally better off than we used to be. Having just been sick the last few days, I suddenly appreciate the value of big pharma and the products they produce. What I don't like, however, is the fact that the big pharma advertisements are becoming so ingrained in the culture and in my life that I may not know the names of those of you out there in the congregation, but I sure do know the names of obscure medicines for ailments that I don't even understand. I know that Mybo, oh yeah, is purple. I know that Farxiga, and I know Rinvoq, and I know all these other pharmaceuticals that are constantly poured and pounded into our brains such that we relate to them more than we do to the hymns of our childhood or the Christmas carols we love once a year. And therein lies my objection. Not the medicines and the benefits that they bring, which are many, but the merchandising and the fact that we are bought in, we buy into them and are sucked into them so inevitably. And now I just want to bow out before I am bowed out. Thank you very much for listening.
All right, thank you. And I will say that we both had the flu. We had flu shots, and this flu said, oh yeah, flu shots, watch this. So I hope you don't get it. Judy Oliver. Judy is here. Good. I would recommend that you come up this side, by the way, and there is a stool back here if you want to stand up a little bit taller. I know.
George, you're staying on vision.
Whatever. Well, maybe I better do something. Crash, my goodness. Okay. Like Becca, I do like to talk. My friends know that. I talked for a living. I'm a retired teacher. My subject today is my brother Joe, who died 39 years ago after a heart transplant. Joe inherited the heart condition that took our father at age 31. Joe's first heart attack came at age 40 and resulted in a ventricular aneurysm. The doctors in Springfield at that time could do nothing to save him. He sought out the Cooper team in Houston. That team was able to repair the aneurysm, and they gave him 10 more years of life. During that 10 years, he lived in Houston and became essentially a full-time volunteer at the hospital. He was a very charismatic person, and since he had been through so many procedures in his time, he was able to counsel other patients who were going through similar procedures and relieve their fears. I say he was charismatic. He was also far right in his politics. I often wonder where he would have been on January 6th, a couple of years ago. He also prayed regularly for my soul after I became a Unitarian. Near the end of his 10 years in Houston, he was asked to be the first patient to receive an implanted defibrillation device. He agreed to the surgery. This device was so new that there was a person from the FDA in the operating room when the procedure was done. The device worked. And of course, it was experimental at that time, and it had many flaws. For example, the first time Joe went into fibrillation, it fired, recovering his heart and restoring him to consciousness. Unfortunately, it kept firing. His descriptions of that were vivid because he knew the intervals at which it would fire, and it was still in his chest. This procedure has since become almost routine, and some of you probably have friends or relatives who have had the device implanted. I had dinner at one of our dinners last night with someone who has it, was saved by it. I pay tribute to Joe today because even though we were very far apart in many ways, I admire the courage he had in allowing himself to be the experimental subject of a life-saving device. He was also courageous in even agreeing to having the heart transplant because he knew it was not likely to succeed. He was so respected by his surgical team in Houston that even though his funeral took place on the 4th of July, his entire surgical team attended his funeral. I think I'm within the time. I'll leave this. If the next person is short, you can have the stool.
You. I'll scoot it over there. Now, the next person is not short. Neil Richardson.
Thank you. I'm the shortest person in my family besides my shorter brothers. Good morning, everyone. When I heard about the opportunity to speak for 3 minutes on any topic I choose, I knew immediately what my topic would be: patriotism. Not the loud and flashy, superficial, flag-waving, coal-rolling, #Murica shouting, performative kind, but the deep personal kind. The kind that lives in your soul, the kind that grows from lived experience. As a disclaimer, I did request help and feedback from Microsoft Copilot, which is using Prometheus, which is a GPT-4 derivative. So robots helped me. I grew up in a conservative family. My grandpa Richardson was a Marine who served in the Pacific. Grandpa Jackson was a colonel in the Air Force. So my mother taught me to revere this country's ideals of freedom, equality, and civic duty. I learned about citizenship in the Boy Scouts. In school, we said the Pledge of Allegiance daily. Our troop frequently took turns serving as the color guard for our Friday night football games, and we listened to We Sing America to learn about the Constitution, checks and balances, and justice. I earned my Eagle Scout Award on July 4th, 1997, standing there in my Scout uniform on Independence Day, swearing my duty to God and country, felt like stepping into a lifelong promise. And that oath never left me. I was raised to believe that loving America meant protecting it, serving it, and always striving to make it better. Those early lessons shaped how I saw my place in this country, and when I cast my first vote, I chose candidates who echoed those ideals. But over time, my opinions changed politically to become more liberal. I began to see that progress and patriotism are not opposites. In fact, the most patriotic thing you can do is to push your country to live up to its promises. I believe in inclusion, justice, and equity, not despite my love for this country, but because of it. And here's the sad truth. There's a narrative out there that patriotism belongs to one political party, that if you question authority, if you protest injustice, or if you advocate for change, then you must not love America. But nothing could be further from the truth. So yes, liberals can be patriots too. We love it enough to want better for it. We love it enough to fight for voting rights, to care for our veterans or those who are less financially fortunate, to stand up for LGBT equality, racial justice, and reproductive freedom. Our kind of patriotism doesn't just salute the flag, it raises it higher. Not because we agree with everything America is today, but because we believe in everything it can be tomorrow. I still carry those roots planted in me as a boy, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the flag, those ideals. I haven't abandoned patriotism, I've tried to expand it. So this morning I invite you to reclaim it as well, to speak proudly of what patriotism looks like from the left, because loving America doesn't mean accepting it as it is, it means believing in what it could be. Patriotism isn't partisan, it's personal. Thank you.
Well, oops, stop that. Stop. This is the timer, by the way. I'm holding it in front of me down there in case you're curious. Mark McGinn. I know there you are.
If you can see it, I'm using my cane that my voice might not be so hot. Can you hear me? Oh, Lord, let me get up here closer. Okay. The title of my rant, it's not a rant, it's a lamentation, is a take on Dominic Dunn's book. And the title is Another Country, Not My Own. The atomic clock in January of this year was set at 89 seconds to midnight. This, of course, encompasses not only nuclear disaster, but also physical disasters and climate change. I see nuclear proliferation right now as a meme for what's happening to us, to our planet. The attacks by Israel and the US on Iran's nuclear facilities was, in fact, it turns out to be a bust, and they're now going to work as hard as they can to get a nuclear bomb. So too are other countries in the Middle East and across Asia. The thing that's so frightening right now is with the wars in the Middle East and in Ukraine is there's a realignment of countries in the same way that there was a realignment before the First and Second World Wars, and that's happening again. Most presidents, when after the invention of the atomic bomb, came into office and were absolutely shocked by launch on warning, which means if we were warned that there was a nuclear missile coming our way, that we had to launch. And each one of them was horrified to find out they had 6 seconds to make the decision whether to launch back or not. 6 minutes. George Bush said it wasn't even enough time for him to get off the can to make the decision. What's really awful about this is these decisions are now in the hands of an unstable president and an unstable administration, which leads me to what just happened in Texas. My real point here is climate change. Climate change is coming along like gangbusters with fires, tornadoes, hurricanes, winds, disasters of every kind, snow, ice storms, you name it, on top of a collapsing infrastructure. And the infrastructure that we have, as we saw in these last few disasters, is not working and is in fact being dismantled. What's happening is deadly. Not only are the bombs deadly, but our politics not supporting infrastructure is also deadly. The only thing we can do is rise up with our voices as progressives and say to these people, no more. We are going to take control. Thanks.
I promised myself I wouldn't editorialize, but if you don't know, we all voted for sick pay in the last election. And if you don't know, our governor just vetoed it. What we all voted for, including Republicans and Democrats. That's where we are right now. Sorry, Emily Jamrock, please come forth. Oh, there you are.
I want to thank you guys for being in the sanctuary to listen to me. Hopefully you will not be bored and I can get you to think about something. As I get older, I realize I get irritated a lot easier. And my topic today is the environment. The environment encompasses all external conditions, resources, influence that affect the life, development, and survival of living organisms. It includes both the natural world and the human-built world and encompasses physical, biological, and chemical factors. Thank you, Google. Now, in other words, it's everything that surrounds us. There's a lot of lip service about the environment, but not a lot of action. President Teddy Roosevelt is a hero to me. He emphasized the importance of treating natural resources as assets to be passed on to future generations and opposed wasting them. He warned that wasting resources would undermine future prosperity. I care about the environment. For me, my husband, my children, my grandchildren, you in the church, and society as a whole. So I'm going to keep swinging for the environment. My interest in the environment started in the 1970s. My mother was a progressive, and she believed in recycling. Recycling at that time was a chore. Those of you who are here back in the 70s, you may remember you had to sort your glass by brown, green, and clear. Take all the labels off. Then we had to have them boxed, no bags. Then you'd get cans, which were the ones that drove me crazy. You'd have to clean out a can, take off the lid, take off the bottom, and crush it. Those of you who are younger than me, go try that. That's a harder activity than you think. Thank goodness for Springfield, and we don't have to do that stuff anymore. My father collected aluminum cans. He would turn them into cash. I continue that practice. And the money that Jerome and I earn from aluminum cans goes back to the church or charity. What if our church did the same type of thing? How much could we actually raise? Also, you guys might remember this if you were going to school in the 70s. Give a hoot, don't pollute. Hey, I bought this at a garage sale for $1. So, you know. There's more I could say about this, but I see I have 45 seconds, so I'm going to skip to the nitty gritty. There used to be an environmental group in this church. I would like to resurrect it. If you have any interest in the environment, animals, plants, etc., please see me. I would love to get it launched by the time of our open house that Becca is leading. Think about today, your actions impact the future and your loved ones.
Okay. Some people have mentioned dinners last night. I might point out here that circle dinners have started again. If you don't know that, we went to one at Ross and Kay's last night. Lynn was there and there were several people there. I met a couple people that I never met before. If you're really interested in kind of getting to know people in the church, sign up for the circle dinners. Are the Gillen Waters here? I don't see them. They're not here today. Fabulous. Did you hear that? There are slips of paper on the greeters table about how to sign up. Do so. You don't have to host, but if you'd like to host, you can. And believe me, it's a wonderful way to get to know people. We sat around for about 3 hours last night talking, and it was wonderful. All right, enough of that. Ricky Bowley, where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay.
Give me a couple seconds. Or more than a couple. Okay. First of all, I'd like to say good morning to everybody. My name's Rick Bowley. I'll start with only mostly you people would understand this joke. What does a UU member say to someone who sneezes? Nothing. Okay. I wrote that one too. I was going to talk about how nice a person I am, but everybody knows I'm a good person, so I don't need. And then I said, well, maybe I could talk about how to bury a body, and it's like, maybe that's not a good subject to talk about. And I don't know how to do one anyhow, so it was just this is a joke, so don't take me serious there. What I'm going to talk about is it's called alpha-gal. How many people have ever heard of alpha-gal? Some people have, some people haven't. It's kind of new. It's only been really recognized since like, I think 2005 or something like that. How I found out about it is, let me get to where I am. That Annie went in and got some blood tests. She said I could use her name and found out she had it. And I found out that I don't have it, so I got tested. It's just a blood test. But what alpha-gal is It's also known as AG, also known as a red meat allergy, is a serious allergic reaction to alpha-gal, a sugar found in mammals triggering by tick bites. Symptoms can be mild to life-threatening. AGS is primarily linked to bites from the Lone Star tick in the US, but there are other ticks worldwide that can cause it. The symptoms include hives, itching, itchy, scaly skin, swelling of the lips, face, tongue, and throat, and other parts, wheezing, shortness of breath, stomach pain, diarrhea, upset stomach, and vomiting. Does alpha-gal ever go away? AGS can be a lifelong condition for some people. It's possible for the symptoms to lessen, disappear over time, and others, especially if further tick bites are avoided. Many individuals with AGS find their sensations to meat and other mammalian products decrease with the time, allowing for potential reproduction of some. Foods that triggered are primarily mammal meats and products delivered from mammals. This includes meat like beef, pork, lamb, venison, rabbit, as well as other organ meats like liver, heart, and intestine. Additionally, dairy products, gluten from beef and pork, and products made from mammalian fat like lard and talon can cause reaction. Is it fatal? Yes, it can be fatal and serious. What can you eat? Birds, reptiles, fish, amphibians, but you can eaten by those with AGS include chicken, turkey, duck, and fish. Exotic meats are becoming more available in many markets such as alligator, quail, frog legs, and ostrich and emu. But there are a lot of restaurants are becoming alpha-gal friendly, and I'm almost there. We go to Hy-Vee, they're alpha-gal friendly, and there's a lot of other products, a lot of new products, plant-based like buttermilk, cheese, and other stuff. And if anybody's interested, I went over a little bit. I have some information on it, and I can make some copies for you so you have them. And oh yeah, and there's a lot of restaurants that are alpha-gal friendly now. So that's it. Thank you.
All right. Kevin Richardson. Where is Kevin? There you are.
Well, good morning. I'm Kevin Richardson. I am an older white man. I have long curly hair, wavy, wearing a blue shirt, and I have dark rimmed glasses. Beth and I have been attending First UU rather regularly for the last few months, and I appreciate this opportunity to talk with you this morning. This is probably as close as I'm going to get to a TED Talk, so I should have brought a little red round rug to stand on, but you know, props aren't everything. On the morning of November 6th, 2016, Beth and I woke up to shock, panic, and fear when we heard who the next president would be. We just didn't want to imagine the future that could lay ahead with such leadership. Over the next week, we ran into friends and acquaintances in the small borough in the Poconos of northeastern Pennsylvania where we lived, who were experiencing similar emotions. And we began to invite them into our house for once a week to talk and sort through our collective fears and feelings in order to know what to do next. Gradually, we all began to hear about new activist groups forming, local organizations that needed volunteers, and causes we wanted to join. And we all began to disperse and get busy in the work that spoke to each of us. Our friend Beverly had run a chapter of an alternative political party years earlier in the area, and which had quit meeting. And she decided that that was what she would do, was reactivate that group in response to the results of our election and offer a political alternative. I was curious, and I checked out the national website and read their platform, which consisted of 4 pillars: democracy, ecology, social justice, and equal equality. and equal opportunity. And there were 10 key values: grassroots democracy, social justice, and equal opportunity, ecological wisdom, nonviolence, decentralization, community-based economics, feminism, and gender equality, respect for diversity, personal and global responsibility, future focus, and sustainability. I didn't see anything that I could disagree with. And so I offered to serve as Secretary Treasurer in order to help fill the required officers necessary to meet state requirements. We then attended state and national meetings, and I also served on the state communications team and found there were passionate people from all walks of life and a serious lack of corporate influence and top-down directives. This was a people-powered movement, and on a local, state, national, and even global level, I knew I had found a home. Can you guess what party captured my heart? I'll give you a hint. It's a color. It's green. It's the Green Party. So why am I sharing this story today here in Springfield, Missouri? Because I and a group of people from Greene, Christian, and Polk counties are at it again. We're reestablishing the Green Party in Southwest Missouri. And this is your invitation to join us. We are currently aligning ourselves with local organizations doing good work as we complete our paperwork and are helping amplify their effort. Such groups such as STUN, which is the Springfield Tenants Unite Tenant Union, to guarantee safe and affordable housing. They have accomplished getting a pilot, also Abortion Action Missouri and Missouri Jobs with Justice, which are dealing with the issues that you brought up. So we hope you'll help us spread the word, and thank you for listening.
And thank you. Last person on the list is Mike Bramer. I saw Mike in here. There you are. Wonderful. I used to be very agile and you got away somewhere. I did not anticipate that I was going to do this morning because I had nothing to talk about it that I really wanted to give until I started reading a book last night that my wife had tried to get from the library, but the library said they had it on file, but it had disappeared from their shelves for some reason or other. Now, the title of this book is A Fever in the Heartland, the Ku Klux Klan's Plot to Take Over America. I've only read 100 pages of it so far. And what I can say about it, it is a blueprint for what is going on in our country right now. The party in power could follow this right down the line. We all know how evil, at least how I think, the Klan was, and it evidently still exists. That same evil is out there right now. And if we don't pay attention to what Neil says and do the things that we know we have to do for our country, and I'm 82 years old and I've seen the country in much better days than it's at right now. When I woke up November the 6th, I was sick in my heart too. So I encourage you, by the way, if you've seen any of the groups on the street out here waving signs, you've seen me this year. I try not to miss any of those. I can't stand up for them anymore but I've got a chair and I sit there and I hold my sign and I do what I can. Pay attention, folks, because it can happen if we don't do something about it, because we're being overrun right now. Thank you. That's the last person on the list. We have a little time left. Is there anybody that would like to get up and say something for 3 minutes? I will say, I have a complaint, and it concerns traffic lights in this town. There are some that just aren't necessary. If you go down Sunset behind the mall, There is a traffic light behind the mall. If you're coming towards Glenstone and you see the lights green, that light will change in front of you every time. It doesn't fail. There is a park right next door to that light, Meader Park or Meter Park, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. They have baseball tournaments in there, like hundreds of cars park in there, and somehow they managed to get onto Sunset without any traffic lights. But there is a traffic light there that stops you on Glenstone. So that's my gripe. It's the best I'm going to offer today. Is it? Yes. Oh, Scoop is on Zoom. Good. Well, let Scoop go ahead and talk. Scoop, take it away. Scoop, you are muted. We're not hearing a word you're saying. Have you got to unmute on your button
Yeah,
there?
well, Becky, I want to say your topic was just about the same subject that had, and so that was part of it was real well covered. I was thinking before a preface about the snake oil salesmen that used to sell in the frontier in early days of America, and we thought, oh, we're over that, we're better now. Look at TV, and you see these, as Becky said, these ads from these companies that on medicines I've never heard of, about diseases I haven't heard of, and ask your doctor this or that. I don't ask my doctor about a brand medicine. I figure they must be educated in it. I hope they are. If it's good, they would prescribe it. But so that was kind of what, plus you might think of the economics of it. I don't know what percentage of TV advertising comes, but they need, of course, a lot of advertising to give us free TV, so-called free. And the advertising that they have, that is, it must be a huge amount. So that affects, I think, the network's coverage some, because if they're getting half their income from farming, and they get a lot from insurance too, and then during elections get a lot from politics. But pharmacies seem to have taken over the ad market, and so windows, by the way. Everybody needs new windows and siding too, I guess. But anyway, that's what I essentially would say. I would say, don't ask your doctor about that. Just say you realize there's other products on the market, or you think I'm having trouble with the breathing thing. I can't find a medicine that's magically cured it, and there may not be one. So anyway, thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity. I didn't expect it, so that was ad lib. I had it kind of halfway thought out, but I didn't wake up in shape, I thought, to run there and stand in front of a podium. Thank you.
We're going to close today with our hymn of the month, which is number 19 in the book if you have one, and it'll be up there on the screen if you don't. And Colleen's going to give us a little intro, and we're going to get right into it.
The harp that carols in the sky, the fleecy clouds are sailing
Well, I hope you all enjoyed this unusual Sunday we had today. We may do it again someday. It's been about 20 years since we did it last. I suppose I'll be dead if we wait another 20 years, but you all might want to do it again someday. We got closing words here, which I haven't read yet, so bear with me. Our closing words are Sharing Our Blessings by Adam Slate. Excuse me. We end our gathering with gratitude for camaraderie, shared wisdom, goodwill, and support that we extend to each other within this community. May we continue to bless each other with these gifts, and may we reflect those blessings back out into the world as we minister to those around us. And we just did the final hymn. Post the final hymn, Zoom note in chat. I don't suppose I was supposed to read that. Our final, well, we already did that too. Okay. So we're going to extinguish the chalice now. There you go. We'll now extinguish our communal and personal chalices and close with our unison sending words, which will appear up here on the screen again. Ready? Our service here is ended. Our service to the world begins anew. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. You'll all see each other in 1 week. Bye now.